Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Rewatch. I am Nick. Joining me is Sun Warrior Denier, Jared.
How are you?
I'm telling you, man, they exist. The Sun Warriors, they exist, man.
Man, I'm still trying to find evidence of dragons. or in the case of Wheel of Time, we're trying to find the dragon. How could I not? It's right there.
I'm just wondering when the dragon will be reborn.
Yeah, I know. It's certainly not on a crappy TV show.
By the way, Dragon Reborn is a Wheel of Time term, so screw you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said the crappy.
But we're here to talk about Avatar, not Wheel of Time. So, so anyway, we are watching the Firebending Masters, and or as I like to call it, how Zuko got his groove back.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
By the way,
he basically said, I lost my groove.
Basically, I think that's going to be the title of this episode.
Yeah, that works.
How Zuko got his groove back. No, will Zuko get his groove back? We got to do the question. Mm-hmm. All right, but so Zuko is trying to teach Aang firebending, and how can you teach firebending when you can't really firebend yourself?
Do or do not. There is no try.
There are some performance jokes that are kind of like...
It happens to 1 in 5 firebenders.
Yeah, I love how there's kind of like... they don't...
There's heavy implications in this episode.
Yeah, and... Oh my god. Also, Tophet continues to be the VIP.
Yeah.
Like, he's talking about the source of firebending and talking about like the original masters of each bending element.
Mm-hmm.
Which so for the earthbenders it's the Badgermoles, airbenders the sky bison, firebenders the dragon, for waterbenders it is the moon.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because the push and pull of the moon, the gravity, that's how they originally learned waterbending. So yeah, that's kind of go from there. So Zuko talks about the ancient prophecy of the Sun Warriors. I'm not saying it was the Sun Warriors, but it was the Sun Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first of the section of the show I like to call Zuko's Fantastic Adventures. Because as we see in like the future episodes, he's gonna go on a magical field trip with each of the gang members and kind of learn to like...
Oh, so he's gonna go on a magic school bus?
I am tolerating you right now.
That one moment made it all worth it.
Whatever. So they go to this ancient temple, and were you getting kind of like Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones?
Oh yeah, totally like that. It's like all of a sudden, I feel like it would have said, "Aang, why does the floor move?"
Also, Zuko, you like that moment where Zuko literally unleashed his force?
Yes, I do. That was great.
Do you know what I'm referring to? The wall running.
Oh yeah.
Force no. Force
unleashed.
I guess you could say he was really looking for the fall. No. Let me do the joke. I guess you could say he was really looking for the Fallen Order.
Okay. You could say he was looking to be a survivor.
A firebending survivor?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so many jokes, so little time. But yeah, and I love how like when the trap trigger's like it's some sort of glue.
Yeah.
Also, like I love how like now that Zuko's free to be himself, the real Zuko's kind of a dork.
Yeah, he is. And what's interesting about that is that it plays all that thing. You see this guy, he's a total badass. He's been hunting them for like two and three for like 2 seasons. And now you actually see him. He's a bit of a dweeb. Where's my dweeb clip?
Oh, it's on a whole nother account. So
It's in another world in the multiverse.
The princess is in another castle. But yeah, and they get found by the Sun Warriors. So what did you kind of think of like the whole like treasure hunting kind of segment?
It gave me a lot of Tomb Raider vibes, and it was really fun. I enjoyed that.
Oh, I do want to back up, and I kind of want to comment. Katara was really savage. Like she was actually like downright mean. Holy crap.
Yeah. Well, because it is Zuko, which you can kind of understand why she was so mean.
I disagree, because like I can understand her being wary. I can understand her, but like I never agree with like, oh, this person was mean, evil to me, so I'm justified in being just as nasty as them to them back as like they were to me first. Like, no, that's childish. And I get their children, but no, I'm not. I'm going to hold Katara to a higher standard.
Okay, cool.
You're free to think differently, but I don't know. It's just
I'm not defending it. I just say I understand it.
I fair enough, but I wanted to comment on it because it's kind of, you know, a little bit, you know, I don't know, a little out of character for Katara is all I'm saying. But yeah, and so they have to take the eternal flame.
It reminds me very much of the Olympics.
And I gotta say, like, there are like performance jokes, subtle, like literally this whole entire episode is just an undercurrent of like dirty performance jokes the entire time. Like
this entire episode is it happens to 1 in 5 avatars joke.
Like they don't even imply it. It's just kind of like the undercurrent.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like an implication within an implication. It's like
I almost thought Sasaki was gonna go when Zuko's like, I lost my groove. You know they have a pill for that. Yeah, there you go. I had to.
Oh my god! I don't know. So I guess what Zuko was saying was,
this never happened to the other fella.
sorry, I had to do that. It's perfect. But yeah. So they get to the top, and Aang, of course, loses his flame. But did you like how they actually started to play the Avatar theme in the show?
Yeah, I did.
Also, like that one Sun Warrior guy kind of rooting for them to fail.
Yeah, I love that. That was really good.
And then all throughout the episode, you thought the dragons were extinct, and they appear. How did you feel when the dragons appeared?
It was cool. They were very well animated, and I liked how like each one that was like mirroring their dance moves was like the one that corresponds to them. Like the blue one is with Aang, and the red one with Zuko.
Also, like I love how they're arguing, and like you cut to them. It's like the Sun Warriors can clearly hear them arguing.
Yeah, they're like, "Give me your fire! No, get your own!
Stop being so stingy!" Like,
I love that.
It was great. And then so they do the fusion dance, and then the moment happens. Jared, what was your reaction?
Which, by the way, I want to say this. I need to give you one moment of trivia real quick. The final move of the dancing dragon is reminiscent of the fusion move from Dragon Ball Z. That's what it says here. It literally says it here.
I mean, we both called it.
There is absolutely, yeah. As I saw that, I was like, oh, good God.
Yeah, and
you're not being any. This episode is not subtle with the Dragon Ball and the performance issues references.
Yeah, so like the big thing is like the source of his firebending. So Zuko this entire time has been using anger as a source of firebending, and I gotta say this episode really kind of hit home with me, because there was a time in my life where I was going through some stuff. I had some false accusations. I was going to college. I had some false accusations laid against me. I was having some trouble. I was dealing with a breakup. Like a girl I loved had cheated on me. So I had this hole in my heart. And I used anger to fill it. I used anger to function. And it basically, I viewed it as a poison. It was a poison for my soul. I was always irritable. I was always snapping at people. But for the longest time, it was the only way I could function. Thankfully, I was able to kind of move past it. But that time period has always kind of stuck with me. And then like this episode, when Zuko talks about his anger fueling his fire, especially with like the revelation of fire being more than destruction, it being the source of life and energy, it really stuck with me. Also, like when Zuko talks about why he is doing something, I think that really hits home for both me and you, because I'm a person who's driven by passion. Like, why do I do my comic books? What drives me to do all this stuff? It's the desire to be better. It's the desire to prove myself. The desire to show people that I am worth something. And that's why this element, this resonated with me, because why you are doing something is just as important as what you're doing.
Yeah, that's a very great way to do it, and it's like the same thing with like to apply it to mine, and like it's like with Batman, where he adopted Nightwing Dick Grayson and basically taught him how to take that rage and loneliness and how to put it into a productive way of doing things.
Yeah, like I like to say that I operate off of what I like to call frick you energy. I mean, I use more colorful language, but the way I describe it is screw you, I'm gonna be successful. Like the energy of like wanting to prove people wrong. Screw you, I'm gonna be successful just to spite you, you know, like that kind of stuff. Like that energy of like people saying you're not gonna be successful, you're gonna fail. Like screw you, I'm gonna be successful just to spite you. Is it the best way of going about it? Debatable, but it's channeling that negative energy into something positive, which is what I've been trying to do for like the past 5 years. And I would say I've been pretty darn successful.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a screeching good time.
It's screeching time.
Which, in the name of productivity, if you've made it this far, please leave a comment. Like, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Also, please subscribe to Comics League. It's a really bad channel, but
yeah, it really sucks to do when the co-host there is an ancient old man.
Yeah, he's currently going for 1,000 subs, and I actually have a special surprise planned for him when he reaches 1,000 subs.
I'm still like a little nervous on that.
No, you don't have to be. Trust me, you will love it. But yeah, what did you like? How would you feel? Like, what was your kind of takeaway from the whole reevaluation of fire and like the whole?
Well, you can even apply that to, and we've talked about throughout this show about how it really addresses like modern politics and stuff. You can apply this to the whole two-way argument, and that's the whole idea about how the fire itself is not totally a destructive tool. It just depends on the user itself.
So you're saying it's not the size that counts, as how you use it?
Speaking of performance issues, it's like I wonder if the firebenders have their own version of 2A, like the right to keep and bear fire shall not be infringed.
A little bit of a tangent, but like the best like 2A argument is oddly enough from American Dad. I think you know what I'm about.
I haven't seen American Dad, so I'm interested. Let's go.
Is basically and this is from Seth MacFarlane. Is basically he sets a gun on the table. It's like, okay, gun, go commit crime. I'll show it to you afterwards. You'll love it. But it is, firebending is a tool. I actually think the 2A argument is pretty apt, because like this whole thing about like this portion of the show is the realization that fire is a tool. Can you use it for destruction? Yes. But can it also warm you? Can it also cook food?
Could it also solve your performance issues? Yes, you can.
The cringe got to my throat.
You need to bend some water.
So, Jared, do you now understand what I meant when, like, the second half is actually a lot better than the first?
So far, it's a lot better. It's going to redeem the travesty that was the parts of the season I hated.
Yeah. So, what would you give this episode?
In terms of rating, I would honestly give it probably a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say the same.
It's not perfect, but it's close to it.
So I think the next one is a two-parter called the Boiling Rock. It's a Sokka and Zuko focus episode.
Yeah.
And there might be some prison break jokes in there. I think you'll really like this two-parter. So I give this a 9.5 as well. And so this has been Nick from the Phoenix Press. Fire. And remember, I can only show you the door. You're the